So I'm happy. I'm in good spirits. Supposedly, retro games are the talk of the time. Now, normally when I talk about retro games, I always have players say, "Oh, I don't want to go back to the 1970s and play games." Well, look, I wasn't alive in the 1970s and the 1980s. Really, I was only like 2 months in, right? The 90s, the 2000s. Here's like my missus was like, "Oh, I don't like those games back in 2000. They were bad graphics." Now, I had to always make a counter argument with this to say, I don't think you truly understand the concept of all gaming. That you're too busy talking about the graphical point. And right now, I think it's finally breaking down to other people that graphics isn't everything. Also, my missus tried a game from about 10 years ago. Well, I guess at the time when she played, it was like 9 years old. And she was in love with it. And she said, "Oh my God, this game is so good." She thought it was brand new. I was like, "This isn't new. The game been out." Right? Having seen some other games, she said, "Oh, this game looks cool. This game is that." I was like, "Yo, but games like this have always been out." I don't think players, gamers, whatever you want to call them, have enough experience with gaming as a whole. I think a lot of times when players get into a game, they're not really, thrown into much of games, or they only get the new experience, or they're too young. I think this is the problem right now. Because retro games, supposedly, by definition, are 15 to 20-year-old games. So it's the year 2024. So we're talking about 20 years. That means anything before the year of 2004, right? Well, man, Super Smash Bros. Is considered a retro game right now. And we argue that's one of the best games that was ever made. Still looks great to this day. You could argue if it looks better or not, or looks similar to the Smash Bros. Game we're playing now. There's no big difference. Games that are on PS2 should be considered a retro game. But then the question came up to me, why are we comparing new games to retro games? Right? Like, normally, if you get something new, it's supposed to replace the old. Like, for example, when you had a PS2, you wanted to get a PS3 to get, the newer gaming. Now, that wasn't the case. It was like that for PS1 to PS2, right? When I get a new shirt, I got a nice little cat shirt, right? I replaced old shirts I could no longer fit. I outgrew them, right? They don't fit anymore. They're getting old. You see threads coming out. You replace the old with the new. It's normally better for you all together. Normally when something new is made, it's supposed to outperform what was old. For example, I have a 2060 graphics card in my computer. It's not the newest, right? But if I had a 1060, it should work better, right? Right now, even with GPUs, I don't see the reason to move up because I'm not playing anything really new. And that's kind of awkward. I'm not playing anything new. I'm going back and playing older games. Why are we playing older games? Why do we have the reason to want to play older games? I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. Why aren't the newer games learning from the older games? I don't know how many times I got into a game and it's not finished, or I have to pay microtransactions, or I have to wait X amount of days to continue playing, or I'm limited to X amount of energy before I can continue going. It's like every game is trying to give you some sort of cap or a bottleneck, and you must insert wallet here to continue playing. Now, look, I know there's a game called Baldur's Gate 3 that doesn't do that. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. I played Divinity. I'm not really into those types of games, so that doesn't really affect me. I've been trying the older Fallouts, and they feel dated, right? But again, they feel dated, but I don't have an interest in those games either, right? But I play Street Fighter. I'm like, man, the new Street Fighter 6, I don't find it fun. I went back and played Bloody Roar. I'm like, oh, I'm loving me some Bloody Roar Primal Fury that came out in the year 2002. Like, I wish that game had a remake. Like, we're so much talking about remakes right now from older games. Now, I stated this. Why would I want a remake of a game? Right? I don't think my chat really got to what I was saying when I was saying, why would I want a remake? It's not the fact that the game is bad. What I'm stating is, I don't want that game just to come out the way it is if we can do something to better it, right? Like, if you see a game back in the early 2000s or the late 90s, you're like, man, this is a really good game. I wish I can have an updated version. I would want a new story, similar mechanics, It is more of what I was getting there. Now, how do you update and upgrade it? I don't know. But don't give me no microtransactions to the game. Please don't give me some pay to win. If you want to add some co-op, sure. But if it was a single player game, please keep a single player aspect. Because I'm so upset when I was playing Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis, and I kept saying, man, I wish I had another Shadowrun. And I was like, oh, there's one on the Xbox 360. I bought it and started playing it. I was like, this game is not what I thought it was. And I was like, man, I wish I had more games that were like Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis. Now, there probably are games like that, but I don't know what they are or how they look. I'm playing games that are 16 to 32-bit and enjoying myself. But the new games, I'm over here complaining. Look, I'm out here sounding like a grandpa with the doohickeys and the thingamajiggies. Like, I'm sounding so old. But then it's like, why are the new people playing the old games? The old people playing the old games. And the new games, like, I don't know, that Marvel game, I don't know what it was. It went so bad, they started making it, oh, well, we're not going to make it online. We're going to make it so you can do everything offline still. Because it was a dud. Like this, there's a lot of games like this. Diablo 4, look, I was enjoying some Diablo 3. I love me some Diablo 3. Is it better than Diablo 2? I don't know, I haven't played it. But I played Diablo 4, I'm like, man, the only reason why I'm playing Diablo 4 on the PC is because I like using the controller, and Diablo 3 on PC doesn't use the controller. But if they would have had Diablo 3, I'd be playing that, I would have said, screw Diablo 4. That's saying something, right? Like, we got new mobile games, and most people say, oh no, it's the mobile game's fault that that gaming is becoming bad. Wait, pause. I don't know if we can actually blame a game to come out and not the system that they add into it. And you say, oh yeah, that's due to the mobile game, but it easily was transferred to console games and PC games. So they got rid of mobile games, let's say they did, it's still there. If anything, mobile gaming is trying to make things better. But again, with mobile games, they also have the availability to get the retro games. I like playing Final Fantasy IX on the phone at one point. Now, do I like playing things handheld? No, because I'm scared that my hands are going to sweat and I'll break the console that's in my hand. So I normally try to go onto a PC or something with a controller just to protect myself. That's another story. But man, why is retro gaming and up-to-date games being compared? Like that's something that should never be happening. Now, I'm not telling you not to do so. If you're doing it, that means there's something wrong with today's games. And I'm one to agree. Look, I've been loving me some Tower of Fantasy, but man, I hate the vitality system. Man, I hate that I gotta hope for a gambler system. I hate it. I like the game. I don't really participate with the gambler system now. I don't really put any kind of money into the game. I just wait, and I just summon something once in a while. Right? I think today's games is not what yesterday's games were. Like, I was playing, I had my missus play Tales of Vesperia. I couldn't get her to get off the game. I was playing something, she's just like sitting there just waiting. Like this. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Now, she wasn't really going asking me, like, am I done? But like, she was waiting to play the game she wanted to play because she's like, I don't have a computer like this. You know? Like, I opened her eyes to realize there's a reason why you make these payments. Because she's like, oh, that's not worth it. Oh, I'm cheap, I'm this. No, you're not cheap. It's just you can't afford. And that's okay. That's okay. But when she got to play, I'm liking this. And I tried to give her a game, that I knew she'd like, but she was like, it's not really good graphically. And that was, Poke MMO, because she wanted a Pokemon game. So she bought the new Pokemon game, right? And she played it, and she's already done with the game. I haven't seen her talk about it, say anything about it, because it's over. If she were to play Poke MMO, she could still be playing to this day because there's still so much content to do. And they add lots of content. And most of the content to be added to the game is free. Now, again, that's not really is it a retro game? I mean, they remade stuff like this. It's more like a remake, but the stuff is based on older games. So I don't know if that's considered a remake or not. But like, I went back and was playing some Dragon's Dogma before. I don't know if that's considered retro or not, but I was having some fun on it. I enjoyed my time playing some Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Final Fantasy 12. And you might say, oh, that's not retro because it's not this old or something like that. Yeah, whatever. It came on the PS2. I feel like any game on the PS2 by now you should consider it retro. Heck, it's getting the PS3. You can probably make the argument it should be considered retro, right? Because we're just going by years of timing. I just look at the process of the game, and it's just, I don't really see a huge jump from games in 2014 to now. 10 years ago, I can't see the huge jump. You might say, oh, there's a jump, but yeah, I also see the tons of microtransactions, the amount of more money we have to pay, and the less content we get in the game, and then we got to pay more for DLC. I feel as if we need to start going back into this retro gaming route and make some better games. I guess because it's mainstream right now, but eventually the mainstream's gonna crash. Players gonna be like, oh yeah, this is cool, but I like these older games. Or you're not making games like that anymore, then people aren't gonna buy. They're gonna look to try to pirate these games. You might say, oh, piracy is bad. I'll tell you this, right? If I want to buy NBA Street Volume 3, I literally cannot buy it anywhere. It can't get sold to me because the company isn't there anymore. The company does not make NBA Street Volume 3 anymore, right? So as you look to buy it online, you can't buy it anywhere. So my question is, if I can't purchase the game from a company and no one's selling the game unless it's used for like hundreds of dollars, what would be the issue with pirating that said game? Right? Now, this is when it gets to ugly territory, because what if people just start pirating games that you can't buy anymore? Well, what they're gonna do? Try to make it so you can get it on a newer console? But then it's like, why did you try to make me buy a game that's $60 on a PS5 or Xbox Series X and S, on a PC, on a Switch, you know, that potentially came out on the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, N64, and PlayStation? You're gonna charge me $60 for it. I don't understand that. Because to this day, I'm still playing NBA Showtime. I have it on Dreamcast, and I love it. But I can't really tell people to go out and buy it because there's nowhere to buy it. I've been liking, I don't have all my games with me right now. But I've been playing Soul Calibur. I think Soul Calibur and Soul Calibur 2 are great games. You can't buy them anymore. There's so many games you can't buy anymore that are retro games. And you're like, well, how do we play these games? You know, like, what do we do? Like, what's going on? There's like this little arcade thing that we've been playing, and I think it's great, but I don't know what we do right here. I think there's a problem in the gaming industry with older games being better than the newer games, but you can't get the newer games unless really you're pirating them or you already had them. But hey, this is my take. I'm BTactics. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about retro gaming compared to new gaming. Do y'all find the newer games better than the older games? Like, if you're asking me that question, it's like they feel the same, which is bad, because if they feel the same from 2002 to now, something's wrong. Or if I feel as if I can go back and play an older game and it gives me the same experience or a better experience than the newer game, something is wrong. But yeah, I don't want to make this video too much longer. Y'all take care, be easy. And if you have a favorite retro game or a favorite game, let me know in the comments. In fact, give me a retro game that you like playing and an up-to-date game you like playing. In fact, give me, if you can, give me, I guess 3 games, right? If I was trying to think of an up-to-date game today, I can't really think of one. Not that I know of. I mean, there's Cold Vein, God Eater, and I'm gonna just look here. Like, I enjoy Tower Fantasy, but I'm only playing it because other players are playing it. I can't think of a third game right now. But if you ask me to think of a retro game, I got a Street Series. I got Phantasy Star Online back for the Dreamcast N64. Man, it's really hard just to think of just one, because I'm looking right now. I'm like, man, that Final Fantasy 12 is good. Bloody Roar, Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain. I just listed 5 retro games, and I'm having a hard time thinking of 3 up-to-date games. But yeah, y'all let me know y'all games that y'all like, 3 of each, if you can. Or if you want, in fact, don't even put a name, just put games you like in general that are retro or up to date. Thank you for watching the video, like and subscribing, because you can put that subscribe button that's right over here. And don't forget, you can watch the videos over here. I want to see you in there too, all right? You enjoy yourself.